Hello, beautiful people. Blessings to you. Welcome back. Sending out nothing but love. May all the blessings be received by you. And I want to start by actually saying that all the blessings are always here. You got to understand, and I know it's hard to understand with our logical mind how the back stuff behind the scenes works of the universe and God and angels and all that. Like, we're just so focused in what we only know and what we're aware of, with what we are conditioned to be aware of, with our own limitations of our own minds. We don't ever see what's beyond the veils, what's going on behind the scenes, like what all the angels or what God or the universe is doing to try to have a connection with you or have a relationship with you and trying to bless you with everything. What it ends up happening is because we are in our own mental limitations, on our own mental boxes, our own mental matrix, that we actually block so many blessings. We It sounds kind of funny to say and counterintuitive, and even someone that might be watching this might be like, that can't be true. I'm waiting for blessings to come. I've been praying for blessings. I need this, I need that. But somewhere or another, what's happening is that there's a blockage in you. There's something resisting it. And it's kind of unfortunate because you might not even be aware of what that is. So you might be thinking like, well, how do I know what blockage it is? So that way I can heal that and then now receive my blessings. So the best way to find out, the best way to get access to everything is, first of all, recognizing that you are not your mind. That's the beginning and root of everything. We identify so much as like, I am a man or a woman. I am this race. I am, this religion. I am this height. I am this body. I am these emotions. I am these thoughts. You start to take yourself away from the completeness of everything being one. And you start to identify yourself as your own individual, separate, whatever. And in that separateness, in every layer, you identify as something else, or you mention to be something other than the absolute oneness. That's where the blockages start to happen. That's where the walls start to be built. That's where the separation begins. So what we have to do is come to this space of allowing yourself. And this is a very vulnerable thing to do. It's very, it feels like you need a lot of courage, especially in nowadays, to even be yourself and allow yourself for these, for you to just sit in stillness, for you to sit with your breath, for you to sit in, you know, the pure moment. I was talking to this one girl the other day, and we were at an event, and we were talking about, the present and being in the moment. And, she's someone that actually has a big channel on YouTube. I'm not going to name her name. She's like, has hundreds of thousands of followers or subscribers. And she was like, I seen that she was resisting it. And even though her content is like spiritual stuff, and, she's chasing the idea of spirituality um, in a way to entertain her own uh, thoughts. And I was telling her, well, the truth is very simple. You don't have to go out and talk to all these sages and go on all these excursions. And, that's cool for the sake of entertaining and, adventuring and all that. But once you really, really want to get down to the nitty gritty truth of what is and what's happening, is you realize that none of that matters in the end. It might matter in that moment to feed your curiosity and all that, but once you really come to the space of no knowledge and not needing to need anything, you realize that you are everything. So my point with her was that she just said, that can't be it. That's too boring. And that was it. It'd be too boring for you to just like, if that was it, if everything she's been searching for and traveling the world and interviewing people and, you know, all of that would come to an end, because now it would be just, wait, all I had to do was just be in stillness, be present, and not need to experience anything anymore, like in that sense. And I was like, well, kind of in a way, yeah, it's just the spiritual journey is to come back to yourself, is not to become spiritual and become in line externally, because all of that already exists within you. It existed before even this physical body was born. We just forgotten it. So to some in the beginning, it might seem boring. Like, well, if that's spirituality, if that's being enlightened, if that's being at one with God and the universe, that's boring, you know? And that's the mind telling you that it's boring, because that's the perfect observation right there, that you're seeing that your mind is looking to get entertained. The mind needs to be entertained. It needs to be stimulated. It needs to be um, put through the works so that it can stay engaged. And that's why a lot of people say that, like, I need to stay busy or else my mind takes over and then I'm just wondering thoughts. But you won't be wondering thoughts if you, first of all, don't identify with your mind and don't identify with your thoughts and don't identify with anything in that spectrum of awareness or limited consciousness. So once you return back to the I am present, just pure consciousness that is observing all of that, you realize that it isn't boring, that you're actually like here now. You can actually ground in more or less into your body without needing to identify as your body. You can identify, I'm sorry, you don't have to identify with anything. And once you allow yourself to remain in that space, then the blessing is that you are the universe, that God lives through you. And what you were looking for as a blessing might not even be something you might need anymore or think you need anymore. There's so much out there in the world that you think you need right now, or you think you would, if you had this or had that, then everything would be great, everything. And in some cases, practical stuff is true. If you're hungry, the body does need to get some sort of energy. So in those situations, certain things are true. But 99.9% of things that you every day, every moment think you need to be happy, think you need to be complete, think you need, are not really the case. And when you allow yourself to be your true self, you actually line up to the things you really need, or the things that the universe knows that you need. And you won't be in this space of lacking, like, I'm empty, I need this. No, you'll be in a space of, I am connected to the resources, I am connected to everything. It's a whole other paradigm, and it's hard to explain, and I can never ever explain it. No one will ever be able to explain it to you. All we can do is try to reason with our mind and reason with this idea of becoming no idea and becoming nothing while you are everything. And these are like such funny things to say with our language, and they can't really explain it. It's something that you just have to experience, but we try to do our best to try to give it some words, try to give it some context to where it kind of describes it, so that way you can kind of have a sense of guidance to it. So I just want to say I love you guys. Everything is amazing and perfect within you. You don't have to go outside. The universe already is here serving you. It's waiting. It's like you have so many angels. You got so much right now. Just like it's like they're like, imagine you're in your room and there's a bunch of people out there outside of your room waiting in a line with gifts and stuff for you, and you're just like keeping the door shut while you're inside, wishing that you were outside. That might not even be a good analogy, but I hope you get what I'm saying. So nothing but love, guys. Blessings to you. Peace always is here and it's always within you. And just have fun. Blessings.